Friends, as you all know, in my previous video, I have covered living things, first three subtopics. First, second, third, that is bones and skeleton, need of skeleton or functions of skeleton. Third, skeletons and movement. Now in this video, I will be covering fourth and fifth point, and that is kinds of skeletons and medicines and infectious diseases. Okay, so let's start. What are the different kinds of skeleton? So you all know that some animals have skeleton and some animals do not have skeleton. Animals which have skeleton are called vertebrates, and animals which do not have skeleton are invertebrates, means they don't have bones. Yes. Now in this vertebrates, animals with skeleton, there are 5 main groups. These are divided into 5 main groups. The first group is fish. Fish are vertebrates, and fish, where do they live? They live in water. Bodies covered with scales, right? And they have fins instead of arms and legs. Example of this category fish is simple fish. Now second comes amphibians. Amphibians, they live in water and on land as well. In amphibians, they have a smooth, wet skin. Okay, so amphibians have smooth and wet skin, and a classic example of amphibian, I think we all know, and that is frog. Okay, now reptiles, they live on land and water. Okay, and these are usually covered with dry scales. How they are covered? Dry, sorry, my mistake, scales. Most of the reptiles live on land, only few of them live in water. Now example of reptiles, very easy, yes, we all know, snakes, lizards, okay, etc. Now fourth category are birds. Do they live on land or water? Not exactly. They usually fly, but some, only few are there who cannot fly. Okay, so have feathers on their skin, and that's the reason they are able to fly. Okay, they have wings instead of arms. And some birds which cannot fly are example like ostrich. Yes, the birds which can fly can be sparrow. Okay, so now we saw 4 categories. Now the fifth category are mammals. Mammals, they live on land, and only some live in water or sea. Okay, now we are all mammals, yes. Now how are mammals? They are usually, the skin is covered with hair or fur. Okay, and mostly they live on land and some live in water, and the ones which live in water, classic examples would be whales. Yes, whales are not fish, whales are mammals. So these are the vertebrates. These are all animals which have skeleton. Okay, invertebrates are animals having no bones. They do not have bones. They might have exoskeleton. Okay, exoskeleton they might have, that is a hard outer layer which protects the animal's body. That is called exoskeleton, but it is not skeleton. It is not a bone. Okay, now what is the function of exoskeleton? Exoskeleton protects the animals and supports the animal's body. Example who have the exoskeleton are locusts, okay, beetles. These are the animals or invertebrates who have exoskeleton, but there are some invertebrates who do not have exoskeleton as well, and the example would be jellyfish. Jellyfish is not a fish. Fish are vertebrates. Jellyfish is invertebrate and it is not having an exoskeleton. Okay, so this was about invertebrates. Now next topic is the identification keys. In that we will make a chart together. What we will see, whether the animal, we will see whether the animal has fur or not. Okay, if the animal has fur, if it is yes, then it is a mammal. Okay, this is the way how you will identify which kind of vertebrate it is. First criteria is, first just see whether it has a fur or hair on its skin. If yes, then of course it is a mammal. If no, if the answer for this is no, if answer is no, then either now we have to check whether it has feathers or not, whether it has feathers or not. Now after checking for mammal, after checking for fur, we are checking for feathers. Now if it is yes, then of course it is a bird. And if the animal does not have feathers, then what we will check now? Now we will check whether it has a wet skin, smooth and wet skin. Okay, now after checking feathers, now we are checking smooth and wet skin. If it has a smooth or wet skin, yes, if it is yes, then what it would be? It would be an amphibian. And if it is a no, then what we have to check? The last criteria. The last we will check is, does it have a dry, scaly skin? If yes, then what would be? It would be a reptile. Now first example is eagle. Eagle we all know. Eagle, does it have fur? No. Okay, so we will go here. Now eagle, does it have feathers? Yes, so it is a bird. Okay, the next topic is medicines and infectious diseases. So now medicines are, what are medicines? They help us make better. Okay, we take medicines to help us make better. Okay, also prevent from getting illness, prevent from getting ill. This is the reason we take medicine. In that, now firstly, whenever we take medicines, it should be prescribed. Okay, prescribed. Also, you have to take with the instructions written in it. So, we take medicine in the form of injections. Second is vaccinations, or injections or vaccination, sorry. Inhalers. We use ointments or cream also. Tablet, syrup. Infectious diseases are diseases caused by very tiny little things, that is germs.